Hello everybody, welcome to a game review. This time we're going to be reviewing WWE 2k18. Now normally when it comes to these yearly, expansion packs that you have to pay $60 to $90 for, I normally don't review these because it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you only have a year to develop it. Of course there's going to be some issues. Of course it's not going to be great. You know, look at EA's Madden, look at the rest of the sports games, and I'm not considering WWE a sport game, but it goes along the same parallel lines. But this one, just absolutely horrendous. Now let's just say you got, the accelerator, the kickstart, the ability to play the game 3 days beforehand, which guess what that was? That was its beta testing. That was the late beta test for 3 days worth of beta testing. You don't believe me? It shows in the footage right there. There's a lot of issues, a lot of things that you don't expect a game made in late 2017 to have. So that's just the technical issues. Those could always be covered up in a patch later on, or at least that's how most game companies see it now. For example of that, you could just look up Assassin's Creed, or the latter Assassin's Creeds. But let's talk about how they love to say this is the largest roster ever. And yes, it is one of their largest rosters. The roster is huge this year, yes. And if you bought the other, not expansion packs, but the accelerator and things like that, if you bought let's just say you bought the $90 edition, the gold edition, which means you could unlock all the wrestlers right then and there, as well as all the championships and the arenas. Yeah, the roster is going to be huge if you have a lot of characters which are nothing but a cosmetic change from the other character that it's a part of. For more examples of that, look at how the fact that there are 5 Stings in that game. You have Sting 1988, Sting 1991. Difference being absolutely nothing. It's the same colorful face paint he had in the late 80s, early 90s before adopting the Crow gimmick. And then you have the Crow gimmick, 2 of them. And then you have the Wolfpack gimmick, which is the same as the Crow gimmick, just black and red instead of black and white. Attribute wise, it's pretty much all the same. The only thing that's really different is the entrance music, which again could have been put into the entrance music slot. So those 5 characters could have been summed down to like maybe 2. The quote unquote modern day Sting and the older Sting. Done! You had 2 Big Boss Man, which again the only difference with that would be the attire, which again alternative attires cover that. There are 2 Cactus Jacks. Cactus Jack again the only difference is a part of one of his shirts. That's it. And there's some characters that it doesn't have, which you'd think it would be there. Such as the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. Yeah, you could say you could unlock him, but try as I might, when I was trying to assign him his belt, the $1 Million belt, which was his, I could not find him. So there's a lot of characters that if you look at it are just cosmetic differences and they can call them a new character. If you're going to go by that logic, then yeah, it does have the largest roster ever. But that's not even the bulk of the show. That's not even remotely what my huge problem is with this game and why I cannot stand it. It is the mandatory, obligationary grinding. In a WWE 2k18, you have to grind extensively to get the character, to get like when you create a character, that character you create does not go into the single player mode. That can't happen. Instead, your character starts off with pretty much nothing but the basics, moveset wise, attribute wise, ability wise, nothing but the absolute basics, and you grow, giving it an RPG element. You might think, oh, well, that's cool. Well, let's see, you get about 500 VC per match if you pull off a 5-star match. And it takes loot boxes. Freaking loot boxes that can cost 10,000 VC to unlock 5 things. And it doesn't go into like say it unlocks the characters. It doesn't unlock the whole character's wardrobe, just a part of it. Like one loot box I got had Roman Reigns' gloves, just his gloves. That's it. And you need these VC more than ever. I mean, you need them badly in order to get your character the way you want it. Of course, like any other RPG, you start off weak as an infant. In order to compete in better matches and be able to pull off a 5-star match, you gotta up your stats. How do you up your stats? With VC. And you also have to get attribute points. You have to earn both of them through playing the game. So as you're playing the game, you get your VC, you get your attribute points, but you want to spend your VC on costumes and different movesets so that your wrestler can have better moves. In order to do that, you have to get the loot boxes. So you're stuck with trying to figure out what to spend your VC on, either on your attributes or on loot boxes so that you can get the moves you want. In order to get your character's attributes all the way up, and get him the wardrobe you want them to have, and to get the entrance that you want them to have, you have to play the game to the point where you don't want to play anymore. Your final reward for going through everything on this game, the grinding is just insane. And you might think, oh, well, it's 2K Gaming. 2K Gaming sells VC on the side. You could just pay another thing for it. That's the same tactic that mobile games use. It's pretty much a paywall. But so far, I'm saying so far because I have a prediction that it's not going to stay like that. That they are going to change it. Because they want money. They want more money. It's not enough that you spend $90 on a game. They want you to spend $90 on VC every 2 weeks just to get your character the stuff that you should have. That's all. It's in the game. So you have to pay money in order to unlock content that's in the game itself. And that's if you got the accelerator and the Kickstarter. If you bought the basic game, it costs 3,000 VC on average to unlock one of the wrestlers. And every match gets you, because you want to play it on really easy modes just so that you can pull off a good match. That means that's 500 VC per match. That's a lot of matches to unlock one wrestler. Just one. The amount of grinding that is made for this it feels like it is practically built for you to purchase VC on the side. Luckily, that's not an option, but I only say that for right now because 2K Gaming will most likely change that up dramatically like they did with the other games, or their other games. And what do you get for all of this? What do you get after unlocking everything? You get a crick in your neck, hand cramping, and the perfect formula to I don't want to play this game anymore. And by the time you do all of this, there's probably a good chance that the hype for 2K18 is going to start rearing its ugly head. And this game is missing one mode. The mode that I've been hearing ever since the draft came about on WWE programming. As a wrestling fan, yes, I do watch it. Fans have been clamoring for the since forgotten game mode that so many people want. And that is general manager mode. They want the ability to put on their own show, to put their own storylines to place, to put the wrestlers they want in a storyboard on their show. They want to create this show where your job is to get ratings and to get merchandise sales. It may sound silly, and it was when it first came about. People thought it was a really silly, kind of like fantasy sports type of thing where you don't want to see the action, you just want the statistics of it. This particular mode has become a cult favorite. Something that people still play the much older game for just to have that mode. And this year does not have it. Even though there's a brand split, which was the Cassius that caused there to be a general manager mode, it's gone. It's not there. Now that may come by as DLC later. I highly doubt it. I extremely doubt it, as a matter of fact. So, no general manager mode. Massive amounts of grinding. Technical issues abound. And people may say, oh, well, this is the best looking WWE game you got in a while. No, not really. I mean, look at their hair. It's a great example. All the wrestlers with long hair. The hair, is it just me, or does it look like they're all matted together? Like someone just glued iron or ironed on glue on their hair where their hair looks like ribbons. That doesn't look good. As a matter of fact, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think older games got the hair issues done. That the hair wasn't that bad, that it showed individual strands of hair. You think, oh, well, that's not possible. Wrong. It was possible in that horrible Final Fantasy game, and that was done well over a decade ago. So technology has advanced since then. So it is completely possible. They just didn't feel like doing the work because they had to get it out by the year. Every year they got to get it out. If you want a good wrestling game in modern day times, you're going to have to tell 2K Games, you're going to have to tell them, hold up on the WWE license. Put some slack into the line. Don't come out with the new one next year. Wait for a couple of years and then feed this one. Feed it, make it like an MMO style where you continuously updates rather than just say, okay, well, that's it. Here you go. No updates, no nothing. The only DLC you're going to get is new wrestlers every now and then from the NXT system. And that's all you're going to get. If they created a WWE game where it was set up, like say, look at a great example. Look at Grand Theft Auto Online. The game came out years ago. It is still one of the most popular games out there. Why? Because instead of focusing on, okay, let's cut it off so that we can build up next year's or next couple of years, so we can start building that up, they fed it. They fed the online aspects of it, giving you more content, more things to do, more customization options. That's how you build an online game. And if WWE was to be an online game, you know how many people would pay their monthly subscription? Quite a bit. If you generously fed it, gave them new modes such as a live action style general manager mode. And anybody that's a fan of WWE wrestling or wrestling in general, we can tell you, the writers will most likely look at some of the fan work that would go on those games, on those shows, and use that as their ideas, because quite frankly the writers are out of ideas. They don't know how to build good characters anymore, and they haven't been for a while. That's why many fans will tell you that the NXT brand is the best brand. Reason why they'll tell you that is because it's up to the wrestlers, and it is ran by not somebody that was in a suit their whole life. but it's being ran and operated by a former wrestler himself. Although he does wrestle occasionally, it's very rarely. So because of this, he has more of a passion to see the young talents grow into their own. You know, they're getting a lot of people from the indie federation, from the indie leagues, and letting them grow on their own, letting them flourish a little bit. And I think that's something that you can implement in a game, where you can build a WWE online game. Build a WWE online universe. Now, any online play on WWE2k18 it's dreadful at this time. And I say at this time because there's only one mode, Money in the Bank ladder match between one character and another character, and that's it. And it's the character that's in your My Player, not a created character, but one that you have to go through playing with the single player mode, which means by the time you get good enough so that you feel confident enough to go out there on the online game, you win one match and that's it. That's it. So online community wise, it's gonna be weak at best at this time. And I keep saying at this time, but I'm pretty sure that this is gonna be it. Because again, it's a 2K game where they just say, here's this year's edition. Next year we're going to give you pretty much more of the same, but you're still going to pay $90 because you're a fan of the franchise. Well, not this guy. I'm a huge fan of World Wrestling Entertainment, but you got to renegotiate your contract, man. You got to get out of that. Let another game company deal with it. Don't make it a yearly franchise. Make it a continuously growing online game. At least that's what I would like. No general manager mode, copious amounts of grinding, bad looking graphics. Wrestlers blink at uncomfortable times, like every 5 seconds, like there's constantly wind blowing in their face. They always look at you like they're just look at you like a dum-dum. This game is not worth your money. If you haven't bought it yet, don't buy it. If you already bought it, you know the pain that I'm talking about. Don't buy next year's until they address these issues. In which they're not going to address the issues. They're just going to keep on doing what they're doing because people keep paying $90. And then when the VC purchasables come out, people are going to be spending another $90. That's $180 for a game. That's an extra $90 on content that's in the game, but you can't play it because you got to pay after paying. You pay 10,000 VC for the crate. You have to pay an extra amount of VC just to wear the stupid thing, or just to equip the ability, or just to equip the move. They micromanage it. It's microtransactions after microtransactions. But because there's no way to actually purchase them, it's heavy grinding. Making sure that you are sick and tired of the game before you could even get your character the way you want it to be. Do not buy this game. Do not go out and look for it. If you're a grandparent or a parent looking for, say your child is a huge fan of World Wrestling Entertainment, try to get him or her a different game. Because as far as I'm concerned, this game was not worth the $10, let alone $60, let alone $90. Not worth your time, not worth the space it to be downloaded on the PS4 or the computer or the Xbox. It's just not worth it. Don't waste your money. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye.